Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today we're going to be looking at Wayfarers from Joker and the Thief. Now, Joker and the Thief has done a lot of different decks over the years, including maybe most famously their 5 different versions of their eponymous Joker and the Thief deck. Most of the decks that they've done, they worked with designer Pedro Oyarbide, and they went back to Pedro to produce their latest Kickstarter deck, Wayfarers. Now, this deck's inspired by the spirit of travel and adventure, and really went all out with a luxurious and full custom deck. So let's get into it, see how Joker and the Thief did with this one. All right, the tuck case itself is a letterpress tuck case from Close Street Press, done on a black matte cardstock, and it's covered with white ink, bronze foil, and lots of embossing throughout. Letterpressing always produces a fantastic effect with the embossing. You have the name of the deck, Wayfarers, incorporated in the artwork in that bronze foil in the front, and then the circular emblem with the JT, Joker and the Thief logo in the middle, and lots of details exploding all the way out. Prominently at the top and the bottom, you have the eagle spreading its wings, really powerful symbol there, with a mixture of those white inks and the bronze foiling. Really beautiful look to it overall. And then all the rest of the background just filled in with bits of patterning. You have the dots, you have the swirls, almost like air flowing up and down the sides, the compass roses on the corners. Lots going on, really busy but beautifully incorporated at the same time front to the tuck case. So really like what's going on. Love the accents of the bronze foil. It's a great color combination. On the sides, you have Joker and the Thief with these little circular emblems representing like phases of the moon down the side. Same thing on the other side. Some ad copy for Joker and the Thief on the bottom, including their website. And the top just says Joker and the Thief with lots of patterning on the top as well. Back here, this isn't the back design of the cards, but you get a preview of just some of the themes that we're going to see throughout. Really cool look to it overall, just this ornate scene. In the middle, you have the skeleton holding the 2 globes, maybe some sort of abstract symbol of travel, and then little portrait images that are kind of featuring travel throughout. So you have the campfire, the river, and then you have 2 hikers here. One's a skeleton hiker, and then the other one is a human hiker. So really cool look to it overall. Again, really heavy use of those bronze foils that really amp this up. Nice custom and very contrasting seal here, done in sort of a cream color with the red and the blue, the twisting snake with the J and T on it. Really cool. I like the contrast of that one and that elongated look to it. So that's the tuck case. On the outside, inner flap, another beautiful mountain scene with the air or the fire, however you want to look at it, flowing to the sides. Lots more bronze foil. The JT logos on the inner flaps, and ornate inner printing as well. Of course, you get the little tagline, maybe nowhere to go but forward, on the inside of the inner flap. And then all the way down, you have this beautiful bronze foil patterning. So great tuck case inside and out. One that's really going to stand out on this shelf, but houses some impressive cards inside as well. So let's take a look at those. All right, starting with the back design, and here it is. Now, a lot of the same design elements that we saw on the tuck case, and it's done in a mixture of black and this sort of cream colored ink and lots of bronze metallic ink as well that really glows in the light. Really heavy use of the bronze metallics on this one to accent it all over the place. Just like on the tuck case, you have the 2 eagles on the top and the bottom spreading their wings, kind of a symbol of freedom and travel. And then you have the Wayfarers on the top and the bottom, the JT logo in the middle, kind of giving a subtle one-way design. Well, not that subtle, but not over the top, just because of that JT logo. So it's not a 2-way back design. That's a little bit disappointing, but not too bad. Compass roses on the side, and then lots of different ornate details all the way through. You can kind of see some of the elements represented. These wisps over here can feel like wind or fire. You have the lightning bolts and the eagle. Lots really packed in on this back design. Joker and the Thief always does really packed back designs, for lack of a better word. Lots going on all the time, but they do a great job, and Pedro Oyarbide always does a great job of still pulling that together. You know, I think it's really easy for something with this much going on to feel busy, but to me, I think this really works well. Finishes out with a nice thin white poker border, and that's your back design. Really like this one. All right, extra cards. You get a pair of jokers. Joker and the Thief always replaces one of their jokers with a thief, so that you have the Joker and the Thief. They're similar designs to them both. They're jesters. One of them with the bindle and the lantern in his hand, and then the Thief version is carrying a flaming skull in his hand. And of course, you can tell he's a thief because he has the classic mask over his eyes. But cool looks to them overall, done in a mixture of this sort of orangish red and blue. And all of that bronze you see is metallic ink. So lots of metallic ink accents going on. And you can kind of see, if you look over here, you'll see the glow in the light as you tilt that. Love the accents of this one. Love how heavily they use that metallic ink throughout. All right, the other two are just ad cards, one in blue and one in that reddish orange color. One for Joker and the Thief with their website, and the other one for Wayfarers. So 2 extra cards. Wish they'd included, a double backer or some sort of, some sort of extra card that was a little different than just the ad cards, but it is what it is. All right, Ace of Spades. Here it is. Again, super heavy use of the bronze metallic inks. Almost like the cream colors you see here are the accent colors as opposed to the bronze. There's just that much bronze going on. Huge spade pip. Lots of little details baked in. You have the nature scenes with the sun over the mountains in the middle here. You have the campfire down at the bottom, phases of the moon running up the sides, and then lots of different patterning mixed in all the way through. My favorite small element is the little ring of footsteps going around. Again, kind of a symbol of travel, but really distinctive spade pip. Lots going on. Like that they didn't do a whole lot of words on this, just let the design speak for itself. Corners, you have this sort of rough looking pip and index. Definitely readable, but it has this sort of rough hand drawn almost feel to it, while still being very familiar overall. The other 3 aces are much plainer. Obviously the Ace of Spades is the power ace, but they do feature larger than average pips in the middle. And again, you can kind of see that bit of a rough feel to them overall, while still being distinctive and readable. The red colors are done in a little bit more that orange color, so a little more orange than red, I think, to me, but nothing that's going to be too distracting. And then the black cards are done in a classic black. So there's your aces. The number cards are relatively standard. Obviously, you get those slightly custom pips with the more natural feel to them overall, but the layout's pretty standard. There's nothing too out of the ordinary as we go through these. A little bit more orange on the red pips, but nothing that's going to stand out too much on these. So real quick flip through these. There's through your clubs and through the hearts. And then we get to the court cards. And Pedro Oyarbide always does a great job with his illustrations on court cards. These start out with a base of characters that are inspired by your classic court. So on the face of it, they're a little bit familiar as classic courts. Obviously, the poses have changed a little bit, and the coloration, of course, on these. Their outfits are now a really vibrant mixture of that orange and blue, and then heavy hits of the bronze metallics throughout. Now, if you've seen some of Pedro's courts in other decks, you'll recognize his style right away. Very strong, bold feel to these overall. I love the colors that are used on these. And in keeping with the spirit of the travel theme of the deck, each one of the suits is going to represent a different element in some way. Some of the elements we'll find as we travel through Earth. So the spades, for example, represent the sky. And so you'll see each one of these with a bird of some sort. So you see the falcon perched on the jack's shoulder there, and then the queen and king both have eagles at their shoulders as well. So love the look of these. I think did a really great job with the court cards. That vibrant orange really pops out more than anything to me. All right, then you go to the diamonds, which represent the sea. So all of them are clutching fish, or in the case of the king, he's got an eel in his hand there. And you can see they've all been fishing, whether it's with the harpoon or with the fish hooks there that the queen's holding. Cool look to the diamonds. The clubs represent fire and the forest. So you'll see flames licking over the Queen of Clubs' shoulder, and then all three of them have foxes wrapped around them as sort of the element or the animal that represents their element in some way. So very cool. I like the fact that the foxes are all done in that bronze metallic ink. Really helps them glow and just pop off the card. And last but not least are the hearts. And the hearts represent the earth. Earth in this case is represented by the snakes that you'll see wrapped around in all these. So very kind of sinister look to them with the snakes. These probably feel like the most evil of all the court cards, maybe just because of what we associate snakes or whatever. The Jack of Hearts is one of my favorite courts overall. I like the compass in the middle, the snake kind of rearing its head, and just sort of the defiant look on its face. So there's your heart courts. Really nice courts, big fan of them overall, and honestly, I'm just a huge fan of this deck as a whole. I think it's beautifully done. Heavy use of the metallic inks really helped this one stand out. Great carrying of the theme all the way through, from the tuck case to the card backs to the courts themselves. So great job from Joker and the Thief and Pedro on this deck. I know they worked over 2 years on it, and the work really shows. I think it really just pops off really nicely. Now, as far as handling on these are printed by USPCC on a slightly crushed stock, so they're a little bit thinner. They fan beautifully, as you would expect. USPCC, I mean, fair warning, can have issues with centering. My deck doesn't seem to really have that much of that, centered pretty well, but buyer beware, that can happen with some of their decks. But these handle absolutely beautifully. The thin borders really show off some of those finer designs. So no complaints at all on the handling. And as far as uses of the deck, obviously a lot of people with custom cards are going to use these more as just collector's pieces. But to me, this would be a great deck to use for gameplay, for your favorite outdoors fans out there. I think this one would really kind of fit in and just sort of elevate your gameplay a little bit. You could probably use these for Magic, for cardistry. I mean, certainly they handle well enough for that. But gameplay or collectors, I think that's really going to be the sweet spot for this one. So that's it. That's the look at Wayfarers from Joker and the Thief. A great deck from them. Really love their designs and really hope to see them branch out into more ornate designs like this in the future. But for now, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll see you for the next one.